I've been in 10,000 battles. I've seen every kind of hell. I've actually been there and come back. I thought I knew what it truly was. I thought I learned all of its lessons. What did I know? Hell has so much more to teach us. So yeah, that is the opening quote of the book I'm going to be talking about today, which is Marvel Universe versus Wolverine, and this is a series of books of Marvel Universe versus, then, like, they have Punisher, Avengers, a bunch of different ones, and yeah, I've only read this one, but it's a great book, and I really wanted to talk about it, so I will be getting into spoilers with it. But yeah, that's the opening quote to the book, and he says that while killing Jean Grey. He's looking her straight in the face, and he just kills her. But anyways, this book opens up with Wolverine killing Jean Grey while saying that, and then he kills Colossus, and it's 5 weeks into whatever infection apocalypse this is, and then we cut back to, back to the past to see how this all started. In the beginning, we see that Wolverine is talking, well, Wolverine and Colossus are hanging out, just watching a hockey game. Then all of a sudden, Spider-Man is fighting Rhino. And, like, the Rhino and Spider-Man just bust onto the hockey rink, and then the camera pans to Spider-Man, just looks straight at him, zooms in, and Spider-Man starts to eat Rhino. People are freaking out. They don't know what's going on. And then after that, we see that they capture Spider-Man, put him in the Baxter building, and Reed Richards starts studying him. Anyways, also, during this video, I won't be going into every single detail that happens in this book, but I'm going to be covering the majority of it, but I will be skipping over some things. Just thought I'd throw that out there, like you guys know. But anyways, after that, we see, we cut back to the present, to where we see that Wolverine is killing Colossus, and he says, "He's my best friend. He's my last friend." And on that page, it shows Wolverine with tons of corpses of fallen heroes around him that he's all killed. And he talks about how he just killed all of the X-Men. Sort of like Old Man Logan, except this time he did it all consciously, and he knew they were the X-Men. It's like, whoa, this is big time. Then after that, we see that Wolverine is going on a crusade with Punisher and Hawkeye, and he just starts killing all these things. And while he's looking at Punisher, we find out that Punisher is way worse than Wolverine. Wolverine even says, "If I'm a beast, what does that make him?" And it's like, whoa. So Punisher is just, like, on a whole nother level from Wolverine, because Wolverine just killed all the X-Men, and Punisher, like, when he's looking at Punisher, he's talking about how it's just like another day for Punisher. This is just, hey, just another Saturday for Punisher, no big deal. It's like, whoa, Punisher, because I thought Wolverine was messed up. Punisher, man, if he makes Wolverine look somewhat-ish normal. But from that point on, we see that Punisher is patient zero. We find out that the scientist team talks to Wolverine. They're telling him how, hey, we need you to bring Punisher here, because it turns out he was sort of the start of this. And so Wolverine asks him, Punisher tells him how he got some tips saying, hey, someone gave Punisher some tips telling him that nukes were coming into the US, and so Punisher obviously had to stop that. When he went there, he's like, oh, intel's bad, but he killed all the people that were bringing in just these chemicals, these weird chemicals. Some of it splashed on Punisher, made him real sick. He was sick for a little while, but just wore off, and all the other chemicals, they just splashed down the drain. And it turns out that's how it all started. And this infection turns people into cannibals, and they just start eating each other, and they're zombies. It's really crazy, but there's zombies with the powers of Marvel superheroes, and it's just really cool to see Wolverine tearing through like some of your favorite heroes. I know that sounds kind of weird to say or to hear. It's just like, how's it cool to see Wolverine tearing through your favorite heroes as zombies? It just is, because it's an Elseworld story, and seeing Wolverine going around and having to kill the X-Men, it's intense, and it's really cool, and the art is so gritty, and it fits it perfectly for this world. The art is perfect for it. But anyways, after that, Wolverine goes and he takes Punisher. Since Punisher is patient zero and it didn't have any effect on him, they're like, okay, we can use him to try and maybe create a cure or something, or help with this. And so they go back to the Baxter building. Baxter building's taken over. We don't know what happened. It's implied that the Thing may have let Spider-Man out, because we saw that the Thing, Ben Grimm, he's looking at Spider-Man, because it's a glass wall in between the two, and he's just staring at Spider-Man. It seems like something happened there. And so the Thing is now infected, but we see that Reed is still alive, but Reed Richards, ooh, he's in rough shape. He's spread out everywhere. He's just stretched like, you know, crazy. It looks kind of creepy. And so they get him, they try to help him. They end up fighting the Thing and Spider-Man, and they're able to make it out of the Baxter building alive. But after that, they're like, okay, we need to prep these scientists to leave. On their way to go, when they're leaving, they run into the Hulk, because the Thing goes and he finds the Hulk, and he's like, I can't fight him on my own, because these things can still talk when they're infected. It's just they're not all there. They can still talk a bit though. So they go, they talk to the Hulk, and the Hulk and his goons go, and they start fighting all these different heroes. Like, you still have some heroes that are good, like Wolverine, Punisher, Hawkeye, Captain America, Black Panther, stuff like that. But you have like people like Black Panther and Reed Richards who aren't fighting because they are really smart, you know, scientists. So they're on the science team, and they can't risk losing them. And so while they're fighting on this whole thing, Johnny Storm, he goes, they're like, okay, Johnny, we've got something they don't. We have air support. Fly up, start hitting them with some fire. Wolverine, I mean, Johnny gets taken out almost immediately while he's up there. Like, breaks all his legs because he falls really far. And then they're like, oh crap, this isn't going well. Wolverine has like a cool fight with Hulk. But then Johnny goes up and he like goes huge, sort of supernova, except not supernova, but he goes incredibly hot, causes a huge explosion. Everyone leaves except for Wolverine and Hulk. Hulk ends up ripping Wolverine's arm off. Yes, adamantium armor. Again, this is a other universe. This is an Elseworld story, but he rips Wolverine's arm off, and Wolverine says how Hulk has never been this strong before. But anyways, we see that a couple hours later, Wolverine wakes up and he's fine. He just doesn't have his arm, and they were able to get the scientists to where they needed to be, but they haven't left yet. And so it turns out they need to hold off these guys from crossing a bridge. They need to hold off this entire zombie army from crossing the bridge, so that way the scientists can leave, the team of scientists. And so what they do is they go to the bridge, but Hulk isn't there. The rest of the army is like Thing and Spider-Man and all of them. They're all there trying to cross this bridge, but Hulk and Deadpool are like, okay, well, not Hulk, but Wolverine's like, well, Hulk isn't here, I'm gonna go and fight him. And Punisher and Captain America are like, wait, where are you going? And he says, Hulk can jump this entire river by itself. These other guys, they need the bridge, but Hulk can jump the river, so we need to go stop him. Also, during all this, Deadpool has been infected, but because of his healing factor, he's trying to control it, but we saw him eating like some dead person earlier, and so he's struggling with that, which was a cool element. But anyways, it's up to Captain America and Punisher to fight off these zombies, while Hulk, it fights Deadpool and Wolverine. Wolverine and Deadpool, they go and they start fighting Hulk. It's a really cool fight, but then we get an amazing moment while Punisher and Captain America are holding off this whole army. It's one of my favorite parts of the book. Punisher looks at Captain America. He's like, what are you doing? They're charging at us. And Captain America says, I can't be like them. I can't be the enemy. God help me, Frank. Don't let me be the thing we fight, please. And then Frank says, you were always my hero, and shoots him in the back of the head. Because Captain America's sitting there, goes down on his knees holding his shield, and says all that, and then Punisher shoots him in the back of the head. And I thought that was an amazing moment. I absolutely loved that moment. It was like, oh man, that's deep. That's great. Showing Captain America, he won't be the enemy. He won't. He would rather have Punisher take his life instead of, like, you know, going out there and risking Punisher's life by having Captain America go out while fighting. And I thought that was a great moment, and I loved it. One of my favorite parts of the book. But then we cut to Hulk and Wolverine and Deadpool's been taken out pretty much immediately. Wolverine's fighting Hulk, and he's able to get a really good like stab on him. He stabs him in the head a couple times. We see that Wolverine gets punched a couple miles away, and Hulk just he looks up and he's just like, whoa. And Hulk's had some damage to him. He just starts, he like faints, sort of. At least it's implied. We don't see him actually faint, but we see like the wording is just that's like what the wording is. And so we see that Wolverine, I think, killed Hulk, but it's implied, they don't show it. And then we see that where Punisher was, the whole bridge is blown up. Punisher just blew everything up, but he's still fine. Punisher's still alive. And then the book cuts 2 years later to the North Pole, where the science team is making headway on cure or something. And then we see an Age of Wolverine bring some survivors back, and like, he's really old, even though it's only been 2 years, which is weird, but he's really old, and he's still only got one arm and everything. And he talks about how he's going to go out to get survivors later. And yeah, besides the ending, I absolutely love this book. I read this book a while ago, but it's still one of my favorites, and I just wanted to talk about it. I thought it'd be something you guys might be interested in hearing, because if you haven't read it, it's definitely worth it. It's a really good book. And I loved it. Actually, Wolverine has 2 arms. I just looked at it. Wolverine has 2 arms. My bad. But yeah, I don't get why he was aged. That didn't really make sense. The ending was not satisfying at all. That was my problem. Like, it was really cool seeing Wolverine fight Hulk, and then, like, literally, you turn the page, and it's 2 years later, and it's just like, what? Why? Why? You skipped so much I wanted to see. Why would you do that? Besides that, the book is amazing. We had that amazing moment with Captain America and Punisher, and Wolverine just being Wolverine, going throughout and being like, okay, as much as he talks about how he killed the entire X-Men, that's carved on his soul, but he had to do it. Captain America even talks about earlier how he has to adjust to the war because, you know, he's not going to be, because, you know, Captain America didn't want to use a gun to kill these people, but he's like, you know, I'm not going to be the guy who's going to be like, oh no, I'm not going to use a gun to kill these people because, you know, of my ethics and stuff. He's not going to put other people's lives in danger for that. And I really like seeing that. He said, you know, I'm a soldier, I know when to adjust for war times. And I really like seeing that. It's a really good book. It's an Elseworld story, so even if there are some characterizations that you're like, I don't really like that, it's like, okay, well, at least it's an Elseworld story, so it's not that bad for it. But again, I love this book. Wolverine was great, Captain America was great, Punisher was great, and then, you know, every time you see a cameo from another character, it's pretty cool. And again, it's Marvel Universe versus Wolverine. This is like in chronological order, because there's Marvel Universe versus Wolverine, there's Marvel Universe versus Punisher, there's Marvel Universe versus Avengers, and I don't remember if there's any more. Chronologically, I think this is like the 2nd book in the series, not 100% sure though. I need to read the rest because I really did enjoy this. Just the ending is so unsatisfying. Besides that, book great. Again, I highly recommend you read it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more stuff like this, you know, just talking about a book a bit more, you know, telling you guys my thoughts on it and telling you what exactly happened in like some cool scenarios and stuff like this book. Tell me again in the comments below if you want me to do more stuff like this, and thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.